here for a while. I don't think we want to finish everything in one day, like today. But guys, come say hello to the people. We're on your property. We must at least acknowledge you.
Morning, everyone.
So we're here. This is the healing area. When you want to come rejuvenate and just clear up your mind, man. It's just come here. There's a spot. It's just a little bit beyond Chalbusil Cultural Village, and I'm sure you guys can come and enjoy this amazing scenery here. And there's accommodation here. There's tents if you want to come with the family and do a camping thing. There's a lot of riding area, birthday parties, weddings. I think you just see from the views, guys. It's gonna be amazing. But when we cut it up and chop it up now with the drone and the footage and everything all together,
we'll take you guys for a walk around.
Yeah,
a little bit of a breakdown during the course of the day.
Yeah. And then see how it all started. Cool. Because this is not the guy who started it. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead, and we're gonna hear the story all behind it. And the lovely Meg, may she rest in peace. I miss her. Like, she'll always be here doing amazing things and moving things around. Like, this needs to be there. This needs to be there. But yeah, guys. So join us today, and we hope you enjoy our little adventure at the Gibson's farm. Hey, what are we calling it now?
I haven't come up with a name yet, but we will soon.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I'm going for Gibson's family farm. That's in my head. But we'll see how it works out. And the day started, guys. We start early here. I think it's like 6 a.m. now. Imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, farm life. Hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Cool. Making bushes down here. Like this, they've been walking on it. There's a steering gun of a man. Where is it? What happened? The tractor ran over us. Anyway. No, it's here. It'll shoot up again.
Oh, that's fine. As long as the roots hold. When the roots hold...
Here, the next one's down there.
Yeah.
And then there's one over here. Over there, so it's like a little bit of a row. I think I've got 12 of these plants in here. Here's another one. At least they're still alive. They're not even well, you're doing it like you're doing Zoom.
Hey, why did dingo? Why did survivor? If you made it through, you're a survivor. Hey, Jackson and survive. Jackson gave Survive an injection, then he survived.
He gets shit here. Shit.
I get overwhelmed sometimes.
When you're doing it better now.
Huh?
It's a nice thing that he's better.
Yeah, I love that he's walking up and down. I told you I bring life, nigga. Like my name says, Zoe. God's kind of life. Hey, Baba. Ethan.
Hey, Jackson, you were saying good morning first, huh? Yes, we've gotten this stick before. Look here. Yours to catch. Come this. Oh, I can't get over.
Morning, Ethan. How are you?
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
Good. I'm taking videos of Daddy. Yes, I'm taking pictures of Dad. Look at him go.
Wow.
Alles good. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, come. He's not going to give it up to me, man.
At all.
No. Sit.
Manga.
How's it, Jackson?
Good boy.
How's it, Ethan?
I'll first say.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be telling you a bit about what's happening right now. Like he explained earlier on, he actually takes the plants from seedling level, from like seeds, and then he transplants them into the trays, and then they grow out for a little bit using the hydroponic farming technique that he was using in the greenhouse. Then now, with what we're doing now is that after the plant has grown, after a certain number, I think different plants have different amount of times that they take. I think it's about 2 to 3 weeks, different ones. So what now he's doing is he's transferring it from the trays, right, into the ground, which I found to be really interesting and really fast because of his little machine there. So actually, it's interesting how our farming has actually started changing in Lesotho. As you can see, it drops in through there, and then it goes straight into the ground. It's a really fast process. It's unlike when I remember when I was growing up, we used to do it with like two fingers, then you measure, two fingers, and then you measure. So then now, on the podcast, he actually explains later on about plants that grow well together in order to do things like control pests and all that because they have different properties. But as you can see, the property is actually pretty big. I love when the drone cuts in a bit just to give you a transition. And then now, as you can see now, he's almost done with the tray, and you can see he's using this little machine. I heard that he actually got it from China. So, guys, there are a lot of new inventions that can help you with farming, either on bigger plots, smaller plots. I think these things make things much, much easier. But later on, he's going to be explaining to us how he got into it and how these tools actually help him to get the job done faster. He was actually telling me that for his farm, he just needs a 5-man team. And he's got a little bit of a mini tractor coming through. I'm really excited to see what that's going to be able to do in terms of his progress and his speed. But shout out to Gibson, man. I mean, he's really doing it. And Billy's Recreational Farm is really growing, guys. And I hope you guys take some time to go visit it and just see these lovely views, guys. I mean, it's so refreshing. Now you see, look at that machine at the bottom there. It goes dip and then it picks up and then it opens up. Dip, opens up, and the plant is there. How simple is that, man? That is really awesome, and this is why I love technology and innovation in all fields. And this time it's in agriculture. Let's get back to it, guys. Talk to you guys later. So as you can see, guys, there's pigs here because he's got I think it's a 6 pig bin on the other side of the farm. You'll see it on the drone as it goes around and flies around it. But basically, dude, this is gonna be a full-scale farm. He's got sheep there. He's got some pigs. He's got basically it's livestock and what's this plant-based farming. So this is actually really nice, guys. Hope you guys like it. Hey, check it out. Who's it? It's your boy Pablo. Guys, remember to like and subscribe and share, and comment in the comments whether you like the episode and tell us where you're watching from. Let's go.
How's it, guys? Gibson over here. So this is my little greenhouse / little nursery. Sometimes it depends on the time of the season, but come, let's check it out. So, sorry about the squeaking door. At the moment, we got a couple of tomato plants in here. These are cauliflower plants. So the tomatoes, due to all the rain, are not doing that well. But you can see, if it wasn't for the rain, would have really nice fat tomatoes. Personally speaking, I am an organic farmer. Love the organic thing. It's what I practice. And this in here, sorry to say, is not. It's not organic. This is it's basically a hydroponic setup. This is cocoa peat.
What's the difference?
The difference is, so fully organic is going into the ground, building compost heaps, just what can I say? Regenerating your soil naturally, right? So cow dung, broken down matter from trees, grass, whatever we've got from the garden, we'll put into compost heaps and let it decompose. And then from there, we'll take it and spread it out into the garden, or dig small holes while we're planting, turn it into the soil, just so that the plants have got a little bit more nutrition from the ground. And whereas in this, it's got no nutrition in it. So we have to feed this. The drum behind you over there, there's a blue drum there. That is where we mix the nutrients. And then through the different stages of growth of the plant. I've got a little pH, TDS, EC meter that I put into the water when I mix my nutrients. I also drop the pH so that the nutrient uptake in the plants is a lot better. And that we do over here in the greenhouse and the little patch outside the greenhouse.
Let's slow things down a bit. How do we start this whole project, dude? Like, it seems like there's a lot going on. We need to understand how it began, why you started doing it.
I had a very big fascination with farming from being a very young kid, or from my youth. I grew up over here. I went to school in Maseru for most of my childhood, and then my parents always had vegetables in the garden, right?
Okay.
So I would always be the nuisance, or maybe not nuisance, I don't know, but I'd run down to the garden and I'd always be picking strawberries and going through the garden, running where I shouldn't be. You know how kids can be, right?
Yeah.
But I think I developed it from them, and from a very young age, I just liked producing my own produce. And well, just the liberty of being able to walk into your garden, harvest a couple of things, take them into your house, literally from garden to table, and have a nice meal, you know?
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so that's where it stemmed off from. And then the hydroponics thing came in later in my life, because obviously there are different categories of farming. And
How do you start learning about all these things? Like, there's so many different kinds of farming. Like,
people pass it down to you. You sit around, you meet people, people pass it down to you. You can find it on the internet. I worked in a cannabis facility for 1.5 years, and that was fully hydroponics, which is all chemicals. There's nothing in there that you can say we were supplementing naturally at the time. So that's where I grew a lot of the fascination of this type of growing. It's a little bit more difficult. You have to do a lot of monetarily stuff in terms of the feeding and your plant's health, and that kind of stuff.
Could you please walk us through like just what it takes to get something from a seedling to like maybe like to get into this stage of like a full-grown plant that has fruits? I mean, like the tomatoes have fruits. If you guys can see, the tomatoes have fruits here, and it seems like the garden is growing. But how do we take it? Because all of us go to the garden, like all of us see the seedlings and everything. But how do we take it from 1 to 0?
Nursery where we make our own seedlings.
Yeah.
Like at a certain time of the year, this will be completely empty, and then I'll use this for seedlings, right?
Okay.
So then once the seedlings are fully grown, they spread out into the rest of the garden, which we'll show you guys as we take walks through the place. And then the seedlings come into here. I have an excess of seedlings, so I also do share crops. So if I have too much for my place, I'll push on into my neighbors and like that. But then basically...
What's sharecropping? Like, what is sharecropping exactly?
Sharecropping is like, I'll have a bunch of seedlings, for example, and take you as my neighbor, and you've got a plot in your garden, and maybe you haven't turned it, or you haven't got anything to put in it at the time. And because over here we try and get seedlings way ahead of time, so we'll start our seedlings before everybody else starts their seedlings. My seedling setup is not running right now, but I can explain it while we're going along. And then what I'll do is I'll take the seedlings that I have access of to my neighbors, and then I will then say, okay, we can fit so many here, okay, we fit so many here, and then they plant it, and then we discuss a percentage rate of the harvest. So the sharecropping thing is, then I've got seedlings we put into a neighbor's garden, we discuss percentages, and then when they harvest, I get a certain percentage of the harvest, and they have a certain percentage of the harvest, and if it's marketable stuff, then I will also help with taking it to market, or if they've got a marketing strategy where they can market it, then they take my produce to market, vice versa.
Okay.
It's basically just giving a helping hand to each other, right?
So why would you need sharecropping when you have such a large space?
Certain things like tomatoes are very labor intensive. So basically this grow that we're standing in here is just for my household. I don't see, it's very labor intensive to grow tomatoes. It's crazy because this week you'll be pruning them, the next week you'll be tying them up. If you don't do that, they just fall over and they break and they die. If you don't spray them in time, they get diseases like this. This is actually just from too much water. I saw you getting a close-up in one of these tomatoes over here. So, for example, like this crack there is caused by too much rain. You'll see it on a lot of these plants here. Like that one there has also got a big crack in it. And that's just simply from too much water. Another interesting fact about tomatoes is they don't like tobacco at all. So if you have anybody smoking a cigarette within this vicinity, they get a certain reaction to that and they start dying. And then in between this, you'll see there's some basil plants in between the cauliflower plants. So the basil just helps repel insects as well. Also, we do eat it in the house because as much as I can, I don't like using spices that are bought from the shop because I've got my own ideology about that, which we'll get into later. But I like producing my own herbs and spices from the garden as well, which I will throw into a lot of meals that we cook in the farmhouse, with my family and just. So that's basically the breakdown of this greenhouse. You will see it throughout the 4 seasons 4 seasons.
So besides tomatoes, is there anything else that you put in here?
Yeah, besides tomatoes, we will, like I was saying, we will use it for seedlings. Most of the time we'll use it for seedlings, then it's tomatoes. Right now, we're going to do a run of herbs in here, coriander, thyme, sage, rosemary. So we're going to do a nice run of herbs in here. Mainly it's going to be a lot of seedlings because they're also going to then be pushed on into the garden. But yeah, tomatoes, mainly tomatoes in the summertime. I haven't really decided on a winter crop because most of my winter crops are mass production crops that I put into the garden. Yeah. There's a tip word. Hey guys, so this is our seedling operation going on here. We've got, at the moment, it's just cabbages and spinaches. So we're going to be putting a lot of spinach and a lot of cabbage in the ground. And I think with not really as much the spinach, because the spinach, once it's fully grown, you'll always have spinach. But with the cabbage, because it's a time-sensitive thing, we want to have them spaced 1 month apart. So we'll have between 1,000, 1,600 cabbages coming out of the ground every single month. At the moment, this is just starting. So I've got 1,000 cabbages in the ground that will be ready in the next month, and then we should be in which will be ready in the following month. And yeah, so this is basically nursing them. I had them in a different place. They burnt out a little bit, it's just a little bit of a game that you play with Mother Nature every single time you put a seed in the ground. But I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm very happy for what I have at the moment, and this is absolutely beautiful for me. So this is where it all begins, everyone. Yeah. From inside the greenhouse to outside the greenhouse, this is the same style of growing over here. So over here, this is more of my experimental patch where I have quite a couple of things going on. I've got a couple of grape plants here. I've got strawberry plants that, if you look at the bottom here, they're starting to make runners. So this is all going to go into the garden because I've got this idea of making a nice berry patch. So it's not going to be specifically strawberry. All right, so I've already said the experimental patch, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the strawberries over here are starting to make runners, which then we're going to create a berry patch in the garden. Not specifically just strawberries. So it will be blackberries, blueberries, loganberries, and then your strawberries.
Okay, but why then produce berries? Like, is there a market for it? What is it really? What's the appeal?
That are coming to the farm that eventually, when it's established nicely, we will just give you like a basket.
Yeah.
You can go through and you can pick the quantities, and then we'll put them on a scale. So obviously it'll be sold by weight. And that's just for the people that come around here, just to have something to do, like walk around, have a basket, pick fresh produce or whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
And the berries are just going to be inclusive of what we have in the farm.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. And then above this, those are all palm trees.
Okay.
Those palm trees, yes, if somebody wants to buy them, you can get one. But initially, I want to spread them out all over the yard. got an idea of making a boulevard maybe one day with them, up the driveway, but yes. So if we go in closer, this is a certain type of chili, which right now I'm also doing a lot of growth for seed collection. So I'm collecting my own seeds. This is gooseberry, which there's a lot of everywhere. I've got parsley and eggplant growing along the side here. Also, again, this is all just for home consumption. We've got cucumbers over here, which are actually they're bed fruit. We've harvested a lot of the cucumbers from them. I think there's one right at the end. If you follow me through here, I did see one somewhere here. Right here. Right here. Here you go. So these are not the English cucumbers. These are Ashley cucumbers, mainly used for pickling, right? So they don't tell you that on the packet of seeds, but for any and everybody else that's going to be buying Ashley cucumbers, that's what they're actually designed for, is for being pickled. You can eat them like normal cucumbers, just take the peel off, take the seeds out, and you've got a nice cucumber. Anyway, for pickling, this is a watermelon crop on the other side that I saved for my son, which I'm sure you will meet as we walking around the place as well. Got a young boy, he's 6 years old. Amazing soul. Sometimes the driver gets on my nerves, but anyway, this is for him. This is a couple of watermelons I had planted out. You can see them if you look down there. They're starting to bear fruit. So this here, like I was explaining in the greenhouse, is all fed nutrients. So this is not organic at all. And you run into trouble with that. It's always a learning curve. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to make it sound perfect. You can see some of the leaves are turning yellow. And, a lot of people will come through and they'll be like, no, it's because you're not giving it enough water. It's because you're not giving it enough this. And I'm thinking to myself, it's because they don't know that I'm feeding it nutrients and I have to be on top of my game. Like you have to record things. It's different from plant to plant. It will never be the same. So certain plants need certain nutrients. Certain plants need certain levels of nutrients through their growth stages when they start producing fruit. How much you give them. If you give them too much, they die. If you give them too little, they don't produce as well. So it's all a learning curve and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to actually master that. So over here we've got squash as well, which I've eaten quite a bit of already. You can actually see the squashes. I haven't got any ready to pick right now to show you, but if you look down here at my hand, there's the first one over there. And in between here, there's a lot. There's another one on the bag there. And the trouble that we're constantly facing with this is because we don't really want to spray this with poisons, right? This is always the struggle I have. I have insects eating my produce all the time. So there will be ladybugs cutting the flowers off. There will be grasshoppers. And clearly because it's food for them, And I've heard people saying that if you have healthy plants, the insects don't eat them because they eat the weakest ones out. And there's a lot of theories out there. Anyway, we've got a couple of chili plants on the side of there. Those are different varieties of chili, and that's going to become our seed bank. So that's all grown there for seed. And then those will next season be turned into seedlings, which will then go into the ground.
So can I ask you something? For somebody who's trying to grow something like at home, how plausible is this? Like, it sounds like there's a lot of nutrients that go into this. There's a lot of like pesticides that you might need in terms of like ladybugs. Like, I'm like, what?
There is a lot of work that goes into it. And personally speaking, I'm not going to stand here and suggest it to someone that wants to go and grow a couple of vegetables at home.
Okay.
There's no need for hydroponics, especially in the country that we live in. We have an abundance of land and fertile soil. And if your soil is not that fertile, you can always make amendments to make it fertile to grow. There is no perfect soil. I don't think you will ever get perfect soil. There are people out there that will tell you that your soil is short of certain elements, and then they will convince you to buy fertilizers to compensate for those elements that are missing. And in my opinion, that's hogwash, because once you start using those things, you can't stop using.
Oh.
So you put fertilizers into the soil and they kill other elements and they boost certain elements. And then they just kill the soil. Yeah. You can go online and look at this kind of stuff, and there is there are facts that back those kind of things. So soil is very delicate. You don't want to over-treat it, especially with the synthetic stuff, because it does kill the soil. Herbicides and fertilizers, I know the fertilizer companies, when they see this, whatever, but they're not the best thing for soil, and that's why I'll stick by organic farming forever. And it's just my ideology on the whole thing. I believe that if you put poisons into the ground, that they go into the genetic buildup of the plants that you're farming, and you eat that, and then we sit back and we all wonder why we're getting sick. So it's a discussion for another day. But anyway, yes, I wouldn't recommend this for the average person at home who's trying to produce a couple of vegetables. If you've got a piece of land in the back of your garden, turn the soil. If your plants are not doing so well, go to your neighbor, get a little bit of cow dung or horse dung, mix it into the soil. Next season, it'll be better.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is, yeah.
Okay, good to hear.
So, yeah.
So this is basically now the greenhouse part.
This is the greenhouse part. This is the whole artificial grow and the experimental side of things. I mean, it works. If you look at the size of the watermelons that we're getting here, and these are actually very young watermelons. I wouldn't put that past a month of growth. So that is a month of growth on the watermelon, not from the beginning of the plant, just on the melon itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. We do have herbs. This is 2 rosemary plants here. I'm shooting more rosemary plants. This is lavender. And this is very good for mosquitoes and insect control. So if you don't want to use a lot of herbicides in your garden, you can plant this maybe a row in the middle of your garden and then plant other vegetables beside it. So that's companion planting, which we'll also get into later. There's certain plants you plant in conjunction with other plants to stop pests from coming to your vegetable patch naturally.
Oh.
So it is also a little bit of a challenge, but if you get it right, it works. And basically that's what I'm aiming at.
No, thank you so much for taking your time and actually showing us your beautiful garden. And guys, we're just going to be showing you guys different parts of the farm. But right now, we're going to go just record the part of the podcast. And you guys are going to learn more about hydroponic farming and how farming works. And actually, Billy's recreational farm.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Named after my father. So it's
hey, man.
Good, man. Yeah.
Keep the legacy going. Why not?
You might want to come in a bit closer. So guys, these are peach tree that have been grafted into nectarine tree. And then inside these trees, I actually had to rescue these. Normally I have them in a little bit of a bit of place. It's just they were drying out too much, so I put them next to these for reasons of shade and stuff. So this is a grafted onto nectarine tree over here from a peach stem. This is a guava tree, also very experimental. I mean, there's another one over here. They did make it through winter, so this is going to be the second winter they brought onto. And then these are also these are pecan nut trees. So these grow really big and these do really well in this region. We've got one here since my childhood. I've been eating pecan nuts off them, and some of the seeds came from the actual tree in the garden, and then close family friends saw me growing these and they bought seeds and they gave me seeds. So there are, I think, 3 different varieties of trees here, but I can't tell because they're all the same. So yeah, these are trees that a lot of them have gone into orchards already. So I've got an orchard in the garden here that I've started with just under 100 trees.
I'm a rich man, I'm a rich man. Responsibility, integrity, courage and honor, that's the plan. I'm a rich man, I'm a rich man. Yeah, money first, it's the values I stand on. I'm a rich man, yeah, I'm a rich man. R-I-C-H, that's the code that I live by. doctor, steady with the rhythm. Let me buy a van, yeah, I'm moving with a mission. Got the responsibility, miles I gotta feed. So I plan before I move, yeah, that's discipline. I gotta stay the same, yeah, that's integrity. Same man in the dark, same man when they see. Got the courage to decide, make a move like vroom, 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 I don't freeze. So you better honor me when you see me in the streets. Not for the flex, but the code that I keep. I don't chase cloud, I don't run from truth. I stand tall in my word, that's the proof. I'm a rich man, yeah. I'm a rich man. Responsibility, authority, courage, and honor, that's the plan. I'm a rich man, yeah. I'm a rich man. Now money first. It's the values I stand on. It's not about survival, no, I'll pass that phase. It's about stewardship, how I manage my days. Not about the pressure, I ain't moving in fear. It's all about